I understand wanting to be famous, and I understand building yourself, and I understand wanting to be a boxer as well, and being a professional. But at some point, someone has to be guiding this kid's career.
I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing, they want to watch Jake Paul because he's coming from he brings fans from other world.
Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned self-proclaimed boxer, has sparked mixed reactions in the boxing world. While he's raking in pay-per-view dollars and generating headlines for stepping into the ring with real fighters, seasoned professionals have been left shaking their heads. For these pros, fighters who've spent years bleeding, sweating and grinding to earn their place in the sport, Paul represents a glaring lack of respect for boxing's traditions. His massive social media following,
Jake Paul been fighting YouTubers.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
And knack for selling out events might impress casual fans, but in the eyes of boxing purists, Paul is little more than a publicity stunt. Many feel he's profiting off a sport he barely understands. The criticism has been relentless, with veteran fighters and rising stars alike calling him out for what they see as a mockery of the sport.
I don't know who else is on YouTube boxing, but Jake Paul's by far number one.
I guess Dashy's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather.
I don't pay attention to shit celebrities do. That's a waste of my damn time. My time is too valuable, and I like giving it to my fans.
One particularly vocal critic is professional boxer Rolando "Rolly" Romero. Known for his outspoken personality, Romero has often taken shots at Jake Paul, both in interviews and on social media. The two have had their share of back-and-forth exchanges, with Romero repeatedly dismissing Paul as a legitimate.
He's marketable, and he put in the work, man. He's gonna get an opportunity.
Boxer. Whether mocking his skills or questioning his motives, Romero has made it clear he doesn't see Jake Paul as someone worthy of the sport's respect. Rolando "Rolly" Romero, known for his brash attitude, has consistently criticized Jake Paul's rise in boxing. Romero has openly questioned Paul's credibility, mocking his choice of opponents and dismissing his skills. The tension between the two has fueled a continuous back-and-forth exchange, with Paul responding to Romero's jabs with taunts of his own. Their feud is emblematic of the broader...
I mean, it was great. I think it was great for it's great for Jake Paul, because now we're having to sit here and have another conversation about it.
Skepticism Jake Paul faces from professional fighters who view him as more of a social media stunt than a genuine competitor. Another prominent voice criticizing Paul is UFC star Kamaru Usman. A dominant force in the UFC with exceptional wrestling and striking skills, Usman has made it clear that he's more excited about fighting Jake Paul than even facing a legend like Conor McGregor. While a bout with McGregor would undoubtedly carry excitement and legacy value, Usman seems more invested in silencing Paul. To Usman, Jake Paul's rise in boxing isn't about skill or respect for the sport, it's about publicity. Usman has expressed little patience for Paul's trash talk and sees a potential fight as an opportunity to shut him down. For Usman, it's personal. A victory over...
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but you know he's gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great.
For Paul would be a statement that real fighters with years of dedication and expertise can't be overshadowed by social media antics. Usman's mission is clear: to remind the world that true fighting talent will always trump flashy self-promotion. Evander Holyfield recently issued a strong warning to Jake Paul: don't fight Mike Tyson. In a recent interview, Holyfield, who famously fought Tyson twice and defeated him in 1996, advised Paul to steer clear of the former heavyweight champion. Having faced Tyson firsthand, Holyfield understands the level of danger Tyson still poses, even though he's long past his prime.
Do you see Mike winning, or do you see Jake winning?
I don't know. It's all depending on how Jake fight. You know, I tell you what, if it's cause somebody gonna tell him it's too crazy to be trying to get close to the guy. He gonna stay like that. Mike like he get in and he curve up like this and snap out and get you.
Holyfield emphasized that Tyson's power and experience make him a serious threat, one that Paul, with his limited time in boxing, might not fully comprehend. Holyfield's comments come in response to Jake Paul's recent talk about taking on Tyson. While Paul has built his career on fighting opponents with limited boxing experience, Holyfield seems to believe Tyson is a challenge Paul isn't ready for. Holyfield has also been critical of Paul's overall boxing career, suggesting that the YouTuber's success is more about carefully chosen.
I think it's really not affecting the real fighters. People like me, I don't really get into it too much. I like Jake Paul. I think he's been doing his thing. But truth be told, I really care so about the real boxing at the end of the day.
And matchups than genuine skill. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson recently weighed in on the Jake Paul versus Anderson-Silva fight and didn't hold back. Known for his sharp wit and lightning-fast hands, Stevenson found the whole event laughable. He wasn't impressed with the fight or the outcome, making it clear he views Paul's career as more spectacle than sport. Both Holyfield and Stevenson's critiques underscore the skepticism surrounding Jake Paul's place in the boxing world. Shakur Stevenson recently shared his thoughts on the Jake Paul versus Anderson-Silva fight, and it was clear he found the whole thing more amusing than impressive. Stevenson, known for his sharp wit and precision in the ring, seemed entertained by the idea that Jake Paul was somehow outclassing an MMA legend like Silva in a boxing match. He didn't buy into the hype around Paul's boxing skills and didn't hesitate to call out the absurdity of the...
Mike got 30-something years of experience.
True.
He's still got power. Even though he's 58, he's still fucking fast.
Aries Spears pointed out that while Mike Tyson is 58 years old, Jake Paul is young and confident.
Fight, leaving fans questioning the legitimacy of Paul's success in the sport. On a more serious note, Stevenson gave credit where it was due, showing respect for Le'Veon Bell after his knockout win over Adrian Peterson. Bell, the former NFL star, impressed with a clean KO, and Stevenson didn't hesitate to acknowledge his effort in stepping into the boxing world.
Now he's got young man strength.
Yes.
And he seems like he knows how to work the mitts based on, his time in.
Yeah.
But Mike is a different breed, man.
Yes, but it's not.
Meanwhile, comedian Aries Spears weighed in on Jake Paul's talks of fighting Mike Tyson, pointing out that while Tyson is 58 years old, Paul's youth and confidence might be dangerously misplaced. Spears argued that Tyson, even at his age, still carries the raw power and instincts that made him a legend.
Jake Paul is awesome. Jake Paul is a threat. I cannot fully dismiss the idea that he was a Disney character or that he knocked out an NBA player and he's calling out a YouTube star in KSI. While all of those things are true,
Chael Sonnen recently shared his thoughts on a potential fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and he didn't sugarcoat his opinions.
The massive experience gap between the two is something Paul, who has mainly faced opponents with limited boxing backgrounds, seems to overlook. Spears called Paul's bravado misguided, emphasizing that Tyson's skill and strength remain formidable, regardless of his age. Chael Sonnen didn't hold back when discussing the idea.
If you try to fight Mike Tyson in boxing ever in your life, you qualify as a badass. There's possibly not another standard
Here of Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson. While acknowledging Paul's growing name in boxing, Sonnen was blunt. Stepping into the ring with Tyson would be a massive mistake. Despite being 58 years old, Tyson's experience, power, and skill remain far beyond what someone like Paul can handle. Sonnen highlighted that Tyson's boxing IQ and ferocity are still intact, even if his physical condition isn't what it once was. He emphasized that Paul's confidence stems from fighting opponents with little to no boxing experience, but Tyson is a completely different challenge. As someone who has competed...
1 week, the story has changed. In 1 week, this went to Jake Paul falling back to his old habits of wanting to beat up a geriatric and get credit for it. And we let him know, if you beat up said geriatric, not only do you not get credit, we're going to be mad at you because we all like Mike Tyson.
At the highest levels of combat, Tyson's ability to inflict damage and control the ring would be overwhelming for a boxer as inexperienced as Paul. Zornan likened Paul's entry into boxing to someone walking into a symphony concert and trying to conduct with a kazoo. Entertaining perhaps, but nowhere near the level of professionalism expected. He stressed that Tyson's reputation and remaining skills would make this matchup dangerous and unwise for Paul, who may be underestimating just how much the former heavyweight champion could still bring to the table. As for the boxing community's opinion of Jake Paul, the consensus is clear. They see him more as a spectacle than a serious contender, with much to prove before earning their respect. Jake Paul has become famous for cashing in on boxing matches, but many professional fighters see him as a gimmick, a flashy outsider using the sport to make money and stay in the spotlight rather than truly mastering it. The frustration lies in his apparent lack of respect for boxing's traditions, while seasoned fighters spend years grinding in gyms and earning their stripes through amateur
Paul
bouts.
didn't miss a chance to
Paul
crank
jumped
up the
straight
pressure.
into high professional
He went as
matches.
far
To
as
them,
branding
he's
Fury
someone
a
who waltzed into
one-trick
the ring
pony
without
who's all
paying his
talk and no
dues,
substance.
challenging seasoned
Harsh?
pros as if
Sure.
experience and
Accurate?
sacrifice don't
Also
matter.
yes.
Legends
the Gypsy
like
King's
Floyd
overconfidence
Mayweather
has
have
turned
openly
into his
criticized
greatest
Paul,
weakness,
calling him
and
out
Paul's
for
been
turning
running
boxing
laps
into
with
a
it,
publicity
calling
stunt.
Fury out
It's
for
not
being
that
a
Jake lacks
defensive
physical
turtle in a
ability.
fight where
He can throw a
Usyk schooled
punch.
him.
The issue is how he's using the sport as a platform to build his personal brand without truly respecting the grind it takes to succeed. To real boxers, boxing isn't just about pay-per-views or viral moments. It's about years of sacrifice, discipline, and dedication to the craft. Paul's rise to fame feels disrespectful to those who've dedicated their lives to the sport, and many in the boxing world aren't shy about saying so. But what do you think? Is Jake Paul just a flashy outsider taking advantage of the boxing world, or is he proving that hustle and hype can pave a new path to success? Real boxers aren't buying it, but maybe you've got a different take. Share your thoughts in the comments.